Hey guys, what's up? Brendan from WhisperNode here. We're back again with another Injective ecosystem tutorial as part of our Ninja Noobie series. So in previous tutorials, we walked you guys through a whole host of different things like compatible Injective wallets, buying Injective on the exchange, bridging Injective between different networks. And today we're going to walk through how to use your Injective once you've gotten it over to an Injective ecosystem wallet like Kepler or Leap, or even you can use MetaMask or the EVM wallets on Helix as well. But today we're going to go over kind of a comprehensive tutorial on all things Helix app, and I'll try to break this down in different chapters. So if you guys are only interested in one thing on Helix app, you can kind of skip around in the video. So let's get started. We're gonna head over to helixapp.com, and then I'm gonna connect my wallet and confirm I am not somewhere where I shouldn't be using Helix. So I'm gonna use Kepler for this tutorial. You can see, as we kind of walked through on a previous tutorial, a whole bunch of different compatible wallets, but I have some Kepler, some Injective tokens in my Kepler wallet here. You can see I've got 12 or so Injective tokens and a little bit of USDT here. So all I've done is connect my wallet, and let's just go through these features on Helix app kind of one by one. So the first one we're going to go do is the swap feature. So swap feature works like any other decentralized AMM, like a Uniswap or any of those other automated market makers out there. You have users, pool liquidity, and then you have algorithms and whatnot that automate those markets. So if I want to, for example, swap 5 Injective tokens for USDT, I will just input those. I can set my slippage tolerance. You need to be careful if it's a new token and there's not a whole lot of liquidity. When you're trading, it can have a really big impact on price. So just be wary of that. You can set your slippage tolerances here. By default, they're pretty low, so you don't have to worry about it too much. And you can see I just enter those in, click that swap button. And let's see. Ran into a little VPN issue there, but you can see then I can approve that transaction, and voila, it should be successful. And I've swapped 5 Injective for 105 USDT. So that's pretty much the swap function, guys. Super easy, functions like any other decentralized AMM. So next, let's go over the spot function. So cool thing about Injective and Helix app is there is an order book despite being a decentralized exchange. So not a whole lot of decentralized exchanges have this limit functionality. So difference between this and swap is there are a variety of users, bots, what have you, that are putting in buy and sell orders for an asset, and those orders are sitting in an order book waiting to be filled. So for example, here, this 21 sell order for 21064, there's 1,660 Injective there, or there was for that split second. So those sell orders are sitting there waiting for someone like me on the other side to put in a buy order at that price. So I can set a buy order, for example, of Injective at 21.06, and then that will execute against these sell orders that are sitting there. So let me do that, and I'm just gonna do 1 Injective. So buy 1 Injective for 21.06, and I can put in that buy order. And you can see, as I put in that 21.06 buy order, kind of the price of Injective changed a little bit in there. and there were no sellers at that price. So my buy order, you can see, is signified by this little triangle here. It's sitting there at 21.06 for one injective, and you can see that kind of jumping around here. You can also see my open order down here under open orders for 21.06, one injective, and that has not been filled. So different than the swap limit orders, you know, you are putting in that order until someone fills that order, whether that be a buy or a sell. So the other option is, if you're using this and you want to get that injective or sell that injective instantly, you can use the market function to buy or sell injective. So let's say I want to buy one injective, but I want it to execute instantly, kind of like that swap. And all that's going to do is fill from these existing sell orders your buy order. But I can click that buy for one injective and then approve that. And you can see that that order was placed, and there's no open order down here because it instantaneously filled at that lowest sell order there. So that would be how you use market buys and sells on the spot exchange. And that pretty much covers using the spot exchange on Helix app. So let's move on to the next feature. Next feature is perpetual markets. So perpetual markets, this is a futures market, and this will let you use leverage on your money. So we've all heard of leverage trading and how dangerous that can be. So let's use Bitcoin USDT perp as an example here. You know, I've kind of noticed that Bitcoin is kind of doing this range thing where it drops down to about 60K and then is, you know, increasing to 64K, and it's kind of bouncing around in that range, right? So I want to place a order here using leverage. I think it's at the bottom of the range, and you know, it's going to bounce back up here. So I'm pretty confident in that. Not investment advice, by the way, I'm just speaking hypothetically, but let's say I'm pretty confident that Bitcoin is going to bounce here. Once again, I can do this on a limit basis or a market basis. So limit basis, I can set the price that I want to execute that order, or I can just do it at the lowest sell price here. So I'm going to do a market buy for, let's see, where's my max? So you can see I have 85 USDT available. So if I click 100% at 1x leverage, I can get 0.0014 BTC for this order. And then my average price is going to be 60.534. That's pretty high. Maybe I'll do the limit then. So 6240. All right. And so once again, using 1x leverage, I can get around 0.0014 Bitcoin. But on Perpetuals, I can use this leverage slider. So if I slide this leverage slider over here to say 5x, I am not spending all 85 of that USDT to acquire that 0.0014 Bitcoin. You can see that I'm only spending $16 because I am leveraging that 5x. And if I go to 10x, you'll see again that what I'm spending is only 1/10 of that total of 85 USDT. So if I do 10x leverage, I'm only spending $8 here to make that order for 0.0014 BTC. It's got the average price of the limit order that I set. And then there's a liquidation price because that order will just stay open until I close it. And if the price of Bitcoin goes down to 55K, I'm going to lose all my funds. So that's how you can get wrecked pretty quickly with perpetuals using high leverage. Is if the price of that asset does move, you can lose all of your funds. So let's just play with this here, and I will buy that long order just so you guys can see it. So, don't see it in open positions right now, so I think it may have filled because my available USDT is also lower. I'm going to refresh the page. Okay, so that order was not showing up under the perps page currently, but if I go to my orders page and I go to derivatives, that order is showing up as not filled because I did set it at that 62.40 price, and you can see that right now it's at 62.81 is the lowest. 297 now is the lowest sell order, so that order has not been filled. Looks like there's maybe a little bug that it's not showing my... Oh, okay, sorry. User error. That was open positions. My open orders, it is showing up down there. So I'm gonna cancel that injective order that I placed earlier, and I'm gonna also cancel this 10x Bitcoin order, and I'm gonna place one at the market price just so we can see it. So let's see, 10x. You can also see that if I place a 1x order and I use 100% of my $87 there, I can get 0.001 BTC. If I slide that up to 10x, I'll be able to get 10 times the amount of BTC if I spend all $87. So I'm gonna not do that. I'm gonna do 5, and then I'm gonna buy the max amount. I'll buy 50% of the max, put in this market buy long order here. Other injective order. I'm going to refresh the page and see if those orders show up. All right, and now you can see that that order was filled. There are 0 open orders. There's 1 open position. So this is a futures thing. I don't actually hold this Bitcoin. I am just placing a futures order, betting on the price essentially, and I need to close that position using a market sell order or a limit sell order. So I am using 5x leverage here. You can see on 0.0035 Bitcoin, the total value of the position is $209. 42 of which I have borrowed, and that is on margin. And the liquidation price is 49K Bitcoin there. So I can use a take profit and stop loss here, for example, on this perps position. So my take profit, for example, I entered at 6251. Say I'm betting on Bitcoin going to 64,000. I can set that in so I don't have to go back into the system and manually close this order when Bitcoin hits 64K. If I put in this take profit at 64K, Helix will automatically close my order when it hits 64K. Same thing can be true of a stop loss. Say I want to limit my losses if Bitcoin starts going down before I get my entire position liquidated. I can, set a stop loss, say at 59K. So where if it hits 59K, I close out my order. I only lose this $4 here. So that's pretty much how you use a take profit or stop loss on these perpetual orders as well. So a lot of traders, this is useful stuff. And I've now put in a take profit and a stop loss on my position there. So not entirely sure where that gets reflected. I think, yep. So those are reflected in this triggers section. You can see that there's a sell order placed for 0.0035 Bitcoin, which is that amount that I hold in that perp order, if the mark price goes above 64K. And likewise, there is a stop loss market order, sell order, if the price of Bitcoin goes below 59K. So that is where I can see my stop loss and take profit under this triggers section here. So that is essentially how to use the Perpetuals market on Helix app. Super cool. Awesome stuff, being a decentralized exchange, having a limit book order, having perps, being able to use stop losses and take profit. So lastly, we have our trading bots, which will automatically trade based on grids that you set. It's essentially doing grid trading, and I've previously made a video on grid trading, so I'm just gonna plop that video right into this video to cover that section there. And to get to this new bot, I'm gonna go to the trade tab here and go to trading bots, which sets up this automated trading strategy. So you can see when I go to this tab, it's gonna pop up with a little bit of information about grid trading and how to set up the bot. So you're gonna set a price range, which is the lower price and upper price that the bot is going to execute trades in. You're gonna set the number of grids, which is, it's gonna divide that upper and lower range into a number of grids to execute trades, and then the amount, which is the capital that you're going to put into the bot. It's going to tell you a little bit about what happens when you run a bot, but I'm going to go into more details on that here, so I'm not going to read this. And then you can end the bot at any time. When you do so, the assets will be returned to your account. So I'm going to close out of that pop-up message there, and you can see that I have the ability to set up this bot for the Injective USDT pair, the Atom USDT pair, and the Celestia USDT pair. I can either choose between auto and manual setup. You can see this auto setup here has put in some parameters based on the last 30 days of prices. So the upper bound would be around 1939, which is above the range here. And then the lower bound would be 718, which is down here in this area. It has recommended dividing this into 20 grids, which I'll go into in a second. And then down here you can see you would enter the amount for your bot, which at these parameters would require a minimum investment of $100 of Injective plus USDT. So I can also set these parameters manually here. You can see I can set like upper 20 and lower 10, and then set my number of grids anywhere from 3 to 50, and then put in those amounts. So I've set up a bot on the Atom USDT pair, and it's been running for about 24 hours, and I figured that was a good way to show you guys how the bot is executing these trades and kind of how you would want to set up your trading strategy accordingly. So I put in about $116 to start this bot. It was a mix of USDT and Atom. I think it was around 8 Atom. And I set this up with the parameters of a lower bound of $8 and an upper bound of $10. And I divided that into 20 grids, which if you do the math, $2 divided by 20 is approximately 10 cents per grid. So again, this bot was running since yesterday at about 3 p.m., November 9th. And I'm gonna go to the trading view chart to show you guys what this bot was doing here. So this is around where I set my bot up. I set it up around 863 was approximately the price of Atom when I set this bot up. So I've made that line black here. This arrow represents kind of where I started the bot. Now what that bot is going to do is, at the time when I set it up, it is going to create sell orders every 10 cents above the current price and buy orders every 10 cents below the current price. So these buy orders are represented by these green lines here, and the sell orders are represented by the red lines up here. And as time goes on, that bot is just going to execute trades every time the price hits one of those predetermined order levels. So you can see around here, we hit this red line, which is around 873, which would cause that bot to then sell about a 20th. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, it would sell about a 20th of your account for 873 here, and it would execute that trade. So then this line becomes my current price, which is 873. It's executed that trade, and then what it does is it puts in another trade. It puts in a buy order 10 cents below the current price down here at that 863 level. So this one would change to a buy order. The bot would keep going in this fashion, and then you can see up right here, we hit again one of these grids, which is that 883 level. So the bot would do the same thing. It would sell 1/20th of my amount of capital, for 883. It would execute that trade. That becomes my current price. It then puts in another trade for a buy order 10 cents below my current price, and then that line becomes green. And the bot just continues doing this strategy over and over as long as you have it running. So you can see again here, we hit this next trade, which is 894-ish, and it executes that trade. It sells for 894. That becomes the current price, and then it puts in another buy order 10 cents below, and then that line becomes green. And again, it's just going to continue doing this as the price fluctuates up and down between your upper and lower bound limits. So you can see here, if I go to my bot and I click view orders, I can look at the trade history of what that bot is executing. So you can see here, like I mentioned, the first trade that was executed was a sell order at 873 for 583 USDT, which is approximately 1/20th of my original 116 or roughly capital in there. So 873 it executed that first sell order, then it went up again, then it executed that next sell order at 884 there, and then 894, which you could see here, and so on until it reached this 926 level here, which corresponds to this arrow here. So I've changed that on the chart to represent my current price. So, and then once it hit this 926 level, you can see the bot then executed 2 buy orders in a row because the price started going back down. So it hit this grid here, 926, and then it had this little dip here that you can see. So then it executed, it executed this buy order, and then over here at 905 or so, it executed this buy order, which corresponds to this 904 on the bot. And then again, it started going back up here, and it executed this sell order. So these would change colors as it was executing those. I'm kind of skipping this for brevity, but you get the picture. As you're moving up and down through this upper and lower bound price, the bot is executing trades, and you're making a little bit of profit each time. So I've set this up for 24 hours, and the bot does pretty well. For my Atom USDT pair for 24 hours with the lower bound of 8 and the upper bound of 10, it's earned 573 so far, which is approximately 4.83% on my initial capital in just 24 hours. So when there's a lot of market volatility and the price of an asset is kind of going up and down and up and down between a certain range, this is a really good strategy to earn some extra capital with your trading. Now, if the market starts running and the bull comes and things start pumping, like you can see that Injective chart, Injective's been pumping, the bot's not going to do so well because you're not going to be able to really define that upper and lower range very well, and also there's not going to be too much capitalization of that up and down movement if it's going up only. So you really want to use this strategy when the market is kind of ranging, when it's consolidating, not when there's a significant breakout, not when there's a significant dump. And you probably want to make sure that in those cases you have a stop loss set on your bot. And always remember that whenever you feel like it, whenever you think the time is right, you can click that end bot button here and end that bot and return that capital to your account. So that's basically it for this tutorial. Hope that helped you understand grid trading a little bit. What else do we have on Helix app? So other than trading, you can also provide liquidity. So you can automate liquidity provision in ranges for assets that you set. So if I'm doing Injective USDT, for example, and I want to set up a liquidity provisioning bot, I can set that automatically. So let's say I want to provide 1 Injective. Oh, sorry, there's a minimum of 100. So the bot, if I select auto, it will automatically set up that range for me that it will provide that liquidity. I can also come into this manual section here, and I can set an upper and a lower price range. So, you can see the past kind of orders here, and then I can set this range. Say I want to provision all the way down to $17 per Injective and all the way up to $25 for Injective. I can set that manually here. And then I can also set the number of grids and then deposit my 5 Injective. Or I can do the auto strategy there. So that is kind of how you set up the liquidity provisioning bots. And then there's the rewards section. Let's go. So you can see that there's an LP rewards campaign here being divvied out by Helix. So there's, for example, on the WMatic USDT pair, there's 1,594 USD or 75 Injective rewards being divvied out. Looks like there's 22 active LP bots, and there's about 200K in volume there. So you can see here are the different addresses. Here's the volume that they have served, and then their estimated rewards of that 75 Injective there. So what else do we have on the liquidity side? We have this provision tab. There are also vaults coming in from Mito, and we will be doing a separate video for Mito and how to provide liquidity using those vaults, which also act as automated market makers. So that's it for today, guys. That covers everything Helix app. Helix 2.0 airdrop is live. Keep trading, keep building up that volume, and climb that leaderboard. And we will see you guys later. Peace.